This podcast was produced by OAR FM Dunedin with support from New Zealand On Air.
Welcome to 4 Countries in 40 Minutes, a podcast series based on the book Esplin, Tom and Edith's Creative Journeys by Donald Offwood. I'm that blind woman, Julie Woods, and alongside me is my husband and artist, Ron Esplin. Hello, Ron.
Hi there, Julie.
And together we are going to cover 4 of the countries contained in that book. This is podcast 1, and country 1 is France. Before we look at the illustration, let's find out a little bit more about Tom and Edith Esplin. They met at Edinburgh Art College in the 1930s. They had lockers next door to one another and they fell in love. They got married to each other and they went on to have 4 children, Clark, Ron, Jennifer and Dorothy. And Ron, you are the second child. That's correct, yes?
It's a lofty position, but I'm prepared to accept it.
It's one you've taken on. Your father received an Andrew Grant Scholarship in 1952, and the family came on a boat to England, swapped houses with the art teacher at Otago Boys High School, spent the year here in Dunedin, and then went back to Scotland. And in 1954, the family emigrated to New Zealand, making Dunedin their home. And I'd like to say settled, but settled isn't a phrase that comes to mind when I think about your mum and dad, because of course they travelled extensively around Europe. Your father painted what he saw and your mother wrote diary entries, and that's what we're going to feature in these next 4 podcasts. So what is the illustration for this podcast, please, Ron, for country France?
It's Mont Saint-Michel.
Mont Saint-Michel.
Well, Mont Saint-Michel is, you know very well, Mont Saint-Michel. You've been there.
Yes, and how did your father paint Mont Saint-Michel?
I'm glad you asked me that, because I have in front of me a copy of the painting. And if you've been to Mont Saint-Michel, here it is sitting right in front of me. And a lovely blue sky, and of course the spire of the chapel in Mont Saint-Michel, high above the ground on the little isle that the village is sitting on, and then the causeway just wending its way up to where you get to when you walk onto the island and up to the building. Lovely.
And of course there are corresponding diary entries written by your mother, Edith, and we're going to hear one of those, or 2 of those now. I think Wednesday the 8th of February 1967 is the entry that you're going to read.
Correct. And of course she had a way with words, my mum. Her name was Edith. And she loved to paint pictures with words, even though she could paint pictures actually. However, the word she spoke on this occasion was about Mont Saint-Michel in 1967. We went first to Abbeville this morning, and it shows signs, as so many of the places in this part of the country do, of the terrible bombing and fighting which has raged over here in the world wars. It is largely rebuilt with only a few old houses remaining. Abbeville's cathedral looks very shaky and feeling its age. We then came on to Dieppe and Fécamp, and along the coast to Étretat, and saw the cliffs we've seen and painted so often. We had lunch at Honfleur, in a tiny cafe with red and white checked curtains and tablecloths, and sampled the very fine local fish. After lunch we came on to Le Havre, and then over a bridge which charged the iniquitous sum of 6 francs 50 as a toll to get across. What? No alternative other than going miles around the countryside. They knew what they were doing. Then along the coast again by Trouville and Derville, all deserted and shuttered. Trouville seemed a relic of a past era, which, as Le Touquet did yesterday, crumbling a bit. Then on to Cayenne, where we saw the cathedral and the castle, and had some difficulty finding the road out for Bayeux. The Bayeux Tapestry is now housed in the library of the Bishop's Palace. and was really something to see. It is considerably longer than I had thought. From Bayeux through Saint-Laurent to Mont-Saint-Michel, and what an unforgettable sight to see in the sunset of a beautiful day, fairy-like and unbelievably beautiful with a few sparkling lights. We went across the causeway, but we will explore it properly tomorrow. And indeed, here we are. We can go straight to tomorrow. This is Thursday, the 9th of February, and we began right after breakfast by parking the car at the end of the causeway at the gateway into Mont-Saint-Michel and walked through the altar place, up the steep streets and right up to the Abbey, where we went in and right around, up and down all its old steps and stairs, and stopping every now and then to have another view. A view over the bay, or to look down on the ramparts below. We spent an hour and a half walking around and then came on to Dol de Bretagne and to Saint-Malo, where we explored the byways and went down to the beach. We had lunch in Dunedin and then made the fairly long run through here, stopping here and there to look at an interesting cathedral or to see some old houses or admire a view. I bought a leather bag in Dol, just what I wanted. Late in the afternoon we came to Quimper, where we went to the cathedral and drove along the river bank, which is lovely. The countryside of Brittany is so lovely and quiet and peaceful and very pleasant to be in, even as early as this, so it must be beautiful in high summer or spring. We arrived in Concarneau just as it was dusk and almost dark, and we had some difficulty finding a hotel open, but we have been lucky to find this very comfortable hotel. It has no restaurant, but we had a superb meal at a nearby place out of doors. There's our view.
Lovely. That was their experience in Mont-Saint-Michel. I've went in February as well, Ron, and of course it's cold, which she noted, and just a beautiful time to go.
Well, that's probably right. Anyway, you wrap up warm, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Can you relate to their experience when you went?
Sure. Yes, certainly.
You went in 1971 and I went in 1992.
Yeah.
We had no money, and I remember we had enough money to buy crepe Suzette to share in the restaurant on Mont-Saint-Michel. But it's a beautiful place, isn't it?
Well, it's so unusual. Although, in fact, on the other side of the channel, you've got the St. Michael's Mount, which is just a sort of a carbon copy of the French one.
Yeah, so we're talking Brittany, France, beautiful part of the world. How did your father approach the painting compared to how you might?
Well, I am a watercolourist, so I'm afraid it take a bit less time than Dad does. But no, I love doing it. And someone I know, someone got it. I don't know how he got it actually. Someone I know owns that painting. If you're out there now in Radio Land and you've seen it, don't tell me because I want it back.
Yeah, well, it is a beautiful part of the world to go. And did they actually avoid the road toll? Was that what they were doing? I don't think they had a road
toll in those days.
What was they talked about the fee, and they took the longer way round.
Oh, really? Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
I just thought that seemed like an Esplin thing to do.
Well, if you're a Scot, actually, that's the ultimate reason why you wouldn't be paying anything at all.
That's right.
But of course, this is post-war, and really, it wouldn't be a lot of money even in those days.
So they stayed in hotels. Where did you stay when you were there?
Well, we had a lovely blue tent.
I think we had a blue tent as well. Oh, my goodness. It's time to go just before we get to the tent stories. You've been listening to 4 Countries in 40 Minutes, a podcast series based on the book Esplin, Tom and Edith's Creative Journeys. I'm that blind woman, Julie Woods, and if you'd like to contact me, you can do so, julie@thatblindwoman.co.nz, and if you'd like to contact Ron esplinartist@gmail.com. This has been podcast 1 of 4. We look forward to seeing you back here for podcast 2. Au revoir.
Au revoir. À bientôt.
I'm that blind woman, Julie Woods, proud sponsor of 7 Wonders in 70 Minutes. The World in 360 Minutes is a sound project containing 36 10-minute episodes taking you across the globe. We started with the first series, Around the World in 80 Minutes, and then 7 Wonders in 70 Minutes. In these podcasts, we explore what we see when we travel, me through my 4 senses and Ron through his paintbrush. You can check me out, That Blind Woman Julie Woods, at thatblindwoman.co.nz or ring me on 021 913 513. Why not?
This podcast was produced by OAR FM Dunedin with support from New Zealand On the Air.